can hear the answer to the question. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fast Break. I'm Tully Carr in Atlanta. Man, we have a great show for you today. We're going to go up the road just a bit in North Carolina, a big CIAA matchup between Livingstone and Shaw. Roger Ray versus Amir Hinton. Man, looking forward to that. Wally Pitt will have that in just a moment. But first, let's start right here. Rivalry week, it happens twice in the same 14-day span. Clark Atlanta making the trip up the block to take on Morehouse. The Panthers won round one this year. Let's take a look now at round two.
Morehouse hosting CAU just 2 weeks after their last game. Kind of weird, but they play it anyway, so we pick it up 8 minutes to go. Morehouse seemingly on the verge of knocking Clark Atlanta out. Michael Olmert driving, dishing, Robert Andrews ducking. Chibuze Ebenom filling the lane. He throws it down. On the other end, Omar Alston, he's throwing a block party. Get that weak stuff out of here. We have Superman celebrations going on, a little air guitar. Morehouse up 65-55, just over 1 minute to go. I mean, it's a wrap, right? Or is it? Jalen Mitchell drives to the bucket for the and one. Free throw will make it a 7-point game. Next possession, Shelvick Henry pulls up for a three-pointer. It's now a 5-point game. Morehouse taking the ball out of bounds. Clark Atlanta applying the pressure. And what do we have here? A 5-second call. Ball goes back to CAU. Romaine Thomas gets fouled on the ensuing play. His 2 clutch free throws. And it's now a 3-point game. 21 seconds to go. Ebenom misses 2 free throws at the line, and here comes Clark Atlanta with a chance to tie. 3-pointer, no good, but Thomas is there with the putback. It's now a 1-point game. Whoa. Ebenom leaks out on the inbounds pass. He's brought down aggressively, but not egregiously. He takes issue with that either way, and there's a whole lot of hold me back. Hold me back. We have to credit Jalen Rose on that one. Referee has a mean headlock. Oh, man. They talk it out. It's going to be 2 shots and the ball. Ebenom misses the first. Now, he's right-handed, but he's looking at and throwing shade to his left hand. What's up with that? The left hand didn't miss. Second free throw, it's all good. Morehouse leads 69-67, 8 seconds to go. So we're going to get another foul. Ebenom at the line again. He makes the first. It's now 70-67. The second one goes in halfway, rims out. Clark Atlanta gets the rebound. Holy smoke, they can tie the game up. Mitchell takes his time, brings the ball up court, gets a decent look, lets it fly. Oh, if he would have shot it a little harder, he probably would have banked it in. We would have had overtime. Instead, it's a 70-67 Morehouse win. They clinch the SIAC Eastern Division title for a second year in a row.
Well, it's just a learning experience. You know, we got a lot of veteran players, but we got a lot of new players on the team. And so it's just a learning experience, getting us prepared for the tournament, hopefully, when that pressure is on like that, where the loser goes home. So I love the fans here. I'll take 18-3 any day. I'll take being the Eastern champions back-to-back any day, and we'll just try to get better from here.
Okay, let's jump into some more highlights down in Houston. Footage courtesy of Dominique Monday. Let's roll out some NCAA banners out of the rafters as Texas Southern hosts the last unbeaten SWAC team in conference play at least. Prairie View A&M, they might be going to the NCAA tournament this year. Still a lot of season to go. But in Saturday's game, Agent Zero, Chancellor Ellis for the Panthers, he drills the three. Man, did you ever get ahead of yourself in life? You know, just a little too excited? Well, you can relate to Jeremy Combs here, but hey, it's still 2 points nonetheless. But this is what a big man should do. No dribbling, nothing complicated, just finish above the rim. Eden Ewing with the putback slam. Here's a grown man move right here. Put it right in your chest. Devontae Patterson. He had 21 points on the night. Let's get down to the brass tacks, shall we? 3:50 to go. Prairie View up 84-82 on the road. Going for the tie is Tyreek Armstrong. Left hand, stop and pop. It's good. Down to 30 seconds to go. Prairie View back up by 2, 90-88. A Tiger free throw by Combs trims the lead down to 1. We go to the inbounds. The pass is stolen. Bear with us now. A lot of excitement. You can't see it all, but that's Combs with the layup, and that's good for the lead. On the other end, it's helter-skelter down there. It ends up as a charge against Prairie View, and Texas Southern holds on for the 95-90 win, the first SWAC loss for Prairie View. Let's continue with scores from the SIAC, Clark Atlanta and Morehouse. We just talked about that. Tuskegee, Miles. Give this one to Miles. Fort Valley State loses a heartbreaker to Payne. They felt the pain, huh? Albany State over Benedict. Lane just gets by LeMoyne Owen. Rivalry game, give this one to Kentucky State. On the women's side, we'll give it to Kentucky State as well over Central State. Miles over Tuskegee, Payne over Fort Valley State. Albany State loses to Benedict, and it's LeMoyne Owen over Lane. Let's jump over to the SWAC. Southern gets the best of Grambling again. Jackson State over Alcorn State. Texas Southern defeats Prairie View. More from the women, it's Alabama A&M over Mississippi Valley State and Alabama State at home over UAPB. For the men, Grambling all over Southern. I'm sure they rubbed that one in. Boy, Alcorn State, they break Jackson State's winning streak. Prairie View, their winning streak is broken as well. Texas Southern finally wakes up in the SWAC. They get the 5-point win there. Mississippi Valley State, losers by 15 to Alabama A&M. And Alabama State at home, they can't hold on to beat UAPB. Hampton, Tennessee State on the men's side. Hampton loses to Winthrop, and Tennessee State falls to Eastern Kentucky. The Hampton women had the weekend off, but the Tennessee State ladies take care of business against Eastern Kentucky 57-31. Let's go to Wally Pitt, who's up the road just a bit in Salisbury, or as they say across the pond, Salisbury. He has Shaw visiting Livingstone.
Thanks, Tolly. Game Day Nation, what it do? It's your boy, Wally Pitt, coming to you from Salisbury, North Carolina, where I'm here to figure out who's the king of the South. Nah, I'm not talking about Lil Flip versus T.I. I'm talking about Shaw University versus Livingstone and who's going to be on top of the CIAA Southern Division. Last week, I caught Shaw's Amir Hinton putting a 40-piece on Johnson C. Smith, and I'm basically following that dude around to see what he going to do next. But Livingstone got some hoopers as well. Roger Ray, the Elmore twins. I'm about to head into New Trent Gym and show you how it all went down. Let's check it out. New Trent Gym on the campus of Livingstone College is the backdrop for a Who Run It CIAA South Battle of the Bears. Livingstone playing host to Shaw U and CIAA leading scorer Amir Hinton, who was fresh off back-to-back 40-point games, while LC hasn't lost since they went up to Raleigh last month and got smoked in Spalding by this same Shaw U squad. And oh yeah, the boy Roger Ray from Livingstone is good for a dub every night and is second behind Hinton in scoring in the CI. And the winner of this one takes the top spot in the Southern Division for the stretch run. But before the tip, we had the jams. This week's pregame dunk contest is a one-on-one between Livingstone's Jalen Fikes and Naquan Kitchen from Shaw. Now, I might have to give this one to Fikes just because his whole team turned him up for this one. Yeah, that man got cheat code hops for real, for real. The first half of this one was the definition of back and forth, with the biggest lead only being 4 points. Derek Randolph gets Shaw off to a nice start with this big three. Amir Hinton adds to it with a deep two. Then Livingstone's Roger Ray goes straight through the trees and over the tallest branch with this nice drive and lay. Ray again with a drive to the paint. This time he dumps it off to Jalen Fikes, who pump fakes his way to a bucket. Livingstone's Cameron Carpenter gets the rebound off the acrobatic miss from Amir Hinton. He takes it the length of the court and finds Lydell Elmore with the oop that ties this one up at 22 all. Now, the Elmore twins are known for catching bodies on alley-oops, but they earned themselves a defensive badge tonight as they were the thorn in Amir Hinton's side, making it tough for him to get any of his shots off. Amir does manage to arc this three over the outstretched arm of Lydell Elmore to tie it back up at 37 all. But it's twin to twin for the win. Lydell finds Navarre for the tough 2 points in the paint, and the Livingstone Blue Bears go into the break up 130-29. Start of the second half, it looks like Amir Hinton is about to heat up. He takes it baseline right at the Livingstone big man for the deuce. But the Elmore twins, still a problem. They force Amir into a turnover that leads to a Roger Ray bucket. Then it's Ray from Trey. LC starting to get that momentum going. Now, is that Lydell Elmore or George Gervin? It's hard to tell, but he gets the old school three-point play on the old school move. Now, you know he's got to look out for his bro. Lydell to Navarre for the slam. Livingstone up 47-40. Shaw not about to let this one get out of hand. Derek Randolph splashes one home from three. Then Darius Hicks. Stop. Hammer time. Oh. Shaw closes the gap to 3, 48-45, and Devon Dillard slams it shut. He gets this three from the corner to fall. Then he takes it full steam ahead for the layup and the foul, and Shaw is back up 50-48. But all that Shaw taking the lead, the Blue Bears and the crowd at New Trent weren't here for none of it. DeMonte McNeil gets the bucket. Then he and Roger Ray with a little two-man action that ends in a Roger Ray three-pointer. LC back up 5, 62-57, and here go Roger Ray, bounce pass to the paint to KG Kenny Grant, who gets the bucket and one. Shaw fans might want to open up a new tab on their browser because it only gets uglier for the Raleigh Bears from here. Roger Ray gives us another three ball. That's 23 points and 6 assists on the night from Ray. Lydell Elmore comes at us with another long wraparound layup. He finished with 15 points and 11 boards. Now, you remember I told you Amir Hinton was heating up. Well, he was all the way hot after some questionable calls from the officials. He ends up with 2 techs and an early dismissal to the locker room. The Blue Bear fans letting Shaw have it as Livingstone goes on to win 78-67, taking the top spot in the CIAA South as we enter the home stretch 2 weeks before the CIAA tournament. And in the Livingstone locker room after the game, their goals were clear and the boys from Salisbury have their eyes on the ultimate prize.
This is CIAA basketball. If you can't get excited about coming out here playing these, division games, then you have a problem. So this is just one game. We have a lot more games to play. And we have to continuously get better each and every day.
Family on 3, to God be glory on 6. 1, 2, 3, family. 4, 5, 6.
To God be glory.
Yeah, we just tried to stay focused on the task at hand. We didn't really think about the last game. We just moved forward ever since then, stayed together. It's the roller coaster marathon. I tell my guys all the time, it's a marathon. The season of marathon, we got to stay together to get to the end result. It's not a sprint, so it's okay. We dropped one, we made up for it. We still at the top. We're trying to stay at the top of the South.
With our guys, the maturity state, we're getting a little bit more mature now. You have a bunch of sophomores, the twins, Malik Smith, and you have junior Roger Ray. So we only have 2 seniors, so we're just asking them to buy into it, and our seniors going to have to provide that leadership, and that starts in practice. That's just the way that we have to come in here and be able to execute, take care of the basketball. We had 19 turnovers, and everybody say, you always looking for the negative. No, it's realistically, you can't win that way in the CIAA. We were just fortunate tonight. And we just got to humble ourselves, and then once we get ready to take that next step in the journey, we have to concentrate just on that, on nothing else.
So there you have it. Livingstone, Kings of the South for now. They done shut the lights out on us, but I found SJG. He was snapping pics, social media, doing his thing. Steve, what you think about this game?
Man, this game, I was really excited about it coming in. You got Roger Ray, you got Amir Hinton, you got Lydell Elmore. A lot of the exciting players in the CIAA were in the gym today, and this gym is always rocking. So I was anticipating that, an emotional game, and we got one. Maybe not as many highlights as we wanted or thought we were going to get. We talked about that, but I think it was two athletic teams filling each other out, and I think really what happened was the team with that had the most time together, this cohesiveness of the Livingstone unit, they just were able to take it. And I think Shaw still, they've got the talent everywhere. You got Amir Hinton. He didn't have a great night tonight, but obviously what he's done against great teams show what he can do. Devon Dillard, they've got talent, but they're still trying to come off on the road and win some tough games. They just lost one against Virginia State, and now they've lost one to Livingstone, who might be the two of the best teams in the CIAA. So
yeah, and this one was definitely chess, not checkers. Like you said, two athletic teams, and what happens when you get a whole bunch of athleticism? Zone. And I noticed there was a lot of zone in this one, a lot of real tough defense. I'm not usually a referee. I'm not a zebra basher. Peter, don't come after me. But I thought a lot of the calls weren't questionable, but it wasn't consistent on both ends. Yeah. And we saw, we didn't get the in-game highlights, but we got some emotional highlights. Right. Amir Hinton was basically like, I'm done with it. He got ejected, jersey off. So, I mean, we didn't get the in-game highlights. We got the emotional highlights, but it was a great game, and I think Livingstone really showed up. They showed improved. And right now, the South belongs to the Blue Bears in Salisbury and not the other Bears in Raleigh. So that's SJG. I'm Wally. Here, New Trent Gym. You know how we do it. We're going to kick it to the scores from the CIAA and the MEAC.
North Carolina Central, the two-time defending MEAC champs, but man, it's been rough for those guys lately. They had lost 3 in a row. The best way to cure what ails you in the MEAC? Playing Maryland Eastern Shore. Central gets a 78-53 win to get back on the winning track. HU taking on FAMU down in Florida, and we told you on Friday Coach Nickelberry is not with the team right now as they're investigating from that brawl, but hey, they pick up a 70-66 win over FAMU, which is a tough place to win these days. Speaking of a tough time winning, South Carolina State has been struggling this year, except for when they play Morgan State. They pick up an 85-81 win. Damani Applewhite goes for 21 points, and SCSU gets its 5th win of the year. Coppin State has been hot as of late, but they got cooled off down in Georgia as Savannah State came up with a 71-62 win over CSU. So look, this was unofficially upset Saturday in HBCU basketball, and the MEAC was no different. Bethune-Cookman picks up a huge 84-76 win over previously unbeaten Norfolk State. Back up in Greensboro, North Carolina A&T picked up a big win, dusting off Delaware State 82-52. Amari Hamilton had 27 points, and the Aggies ended a 2-game losing streak. Ladies, Morgan State men can't handle South Carolina State, but the women sure can. 63-61 in Orangeburg. And just like that, Maryland Eastern Shore's women got a 69-61 win. Meanwhile, over in Greensboro, North Carolina A&T, they hit Delaware State with that CC Pennington because they can keep on walking if they think they're going to beat A&T. 72-49 win. A&T now has won 17 games in a row in the MEAC. It was the return of the MAC down in Daytona as Bethune-Cookman's women picked up a 65-58 win. Not too long ago, Norfolk State was riding high, but BCU and a lot of the other MEAC teams have brought them back down to earth. Elsewhere in Florida, the Howard women took care of FAMU 81-59 to make it a clean sweep with the men. CUHU, and down in Savannah, SSU gets a 68-57 win over Coppin State. CIAA, we're less than 3 weeks out from crowning a championship. Do you guys realize that? WSSU can't even spell championship right now. They just want to get a win because they lost their 5th game in a row, dropping a 68-51 contest to St. Aug. Saturday, they had to head up the road to face Virginia Union, and man, my guy Will Jenkins had himself a game, put up a Charles Oakley-like stat line, 23 points, 14 boards, as VUU upsets Virginia State, handing them their first CIAA loss of the year. and ends a long winning streak. Watch out for this team in championship form again for Coach Jay Butler. Battle of the 252 going on. Elizabeth City State hosting Chowan, and they pick up an 84-76 win. Even further north, Lincoln hosting Bowie State, hoping to hold on for a win, but David Bell steps back in defense, three-pointer, and steals the hearts of the Lions as Bowie heads back to PG County with the dub. Shaw and Livingstone, you saw the highlights there. Watch out for the Blue Bears. And finally, we had Fayetteville State with a 94-88 win over Johnson C. Smith. This game was on TV. It was made for TV. Denzel Hosh puts up 45 points as Johnson C. Smith loses a 22-1 lead. Wow, that's gotta hurt. CI ladies. Let's kick it off in Salisbury. Deja Harris, this young lady had herself a game and a half. 41 points, 8 assists, man, and 6 steals as Livingstone comes up with a 158 win over Shaw. The WSSU women, they pick up a 72-54 win, and they need to keep pace with Fayetteville State because they picked up a 72-66 win. Both these teams have one loss right now. Winston's was to Fayetteville State, however, so they're going to play each other again next week. Chowan beats Elizabeth City State 78-61. Bowie State, one of the best defensive teams in the country, and they showed why again on Saturday, hold Lincoln to 39 points as they pick up a 57-39 win. And Virginia Union, they just keep doing what they do. VUU comes up with a 67-42 win over VSU. They are now 21-1. Sharika McNeil, we tell you about it all the time, 22 points for the dub.
Hey, post-game pimping. I remember that as a young fellow. That's going to do it for today's episode of The Fast Break. I'm Tolly Carr. We had a heck of a day in Atlanta. It was an exciting day of HBCU basketball. So thanks for hanging out with us on The Fast Break. For the entire crew, you guys have yourself a great week.